I got rid of almost all my social medias a month and 14 days ago as of recording. The quality of the internet has immensely dropped these past few years. Sources from what I've noticed can range from bots or an influx of new internet users throughout the globe, impacting its quality. Twitter is a great example of how terrible it's gotten, and probably even Reddit. They're victims to the dead internet theory, where back then, years ago, old tweets used to be hilarious and genuine. Sure, some of them are probably stolen from others with huge users like Kira Won't Miss with its instant classic. However, if you look at tweets now, especially the replies, you have to scroll through a bunch of 2012 Facebook memes for replies that's not even remotely related to the topic at hand. I won't show proof, I want you to see it yourself. I'm not going back to Twitter or X, whatever Elon wants to call it. As for Reddit, I can't quite pinpoint what's wrong with it tangibly, but you can tell the replies in the posts have definitely gotten worse. It's almost like a gut instinct that I can't explain. YouTube is also affected through the copycat salmonella or casually explained channels with AI generated scripts, some YouTube videos that have that AI feel in them, hinting its superficial nature, hugely lacking in depth. There's also an influx of people talking in front of their cameras with YouTube Studio's auto-generated title feature. Although raw, they're mostly low quality. I think one of these videos actually blew up and started showing up on TikTok or Reels despite how blatant it is in its usage of the feature. The algorithm is pushing new YouTubers to your recommended, which sounds great at first, increasing discovery and a nice palate cleanser, but instead it just ends up shoving either AI slop or videos that try not to be too obvious with it. I've mentioned this on my last video, where there's also this kind of influx of pretentious video essays going on for hours, with a huge chunk of it being Wikipedia material or again superficial AI generated scripts, and only maybe a few minutes of actual original thought that gives me insight on who the person is behind the screen. This is YouTube. You. I want to know you, the person talking behind the screen with Audacity open. I want to peel open your thoughts, hell, even get in a parasocial relationship with you. Be raw, show as much of yourself as possible. But no. Almost every video now expects you to turn your brain off or do something else while listening. Maybe, have like Minecraft on your main monitor with their video on the side. YouTube as a whole has lost its distinction with other video platforms. It's not any different to TikTok or Reels with its short form content, where YouTube Shorts is easily accessible, which I have never clicked up once, upon returning here. It's funny since Reels and TikTok are surprisingly the most alive platforms nowadays. And others such as Twitter and, here being a wasteland, a shadow of its former self. I did like TikTok and Reels, they did feel alive and new. Although most of it is still filled with CapCut preset videos, things we used to make fun of 7 to 8 years ago because they all looked like PowerPoint slides. A small part of it consisting of extremely well-made After Effects videos, brimming with soul. If only you could curate your For You page, I would go back. Because in order to find these gems, you'd have to scroll through hundreds and thousands of garbage, sinking hours of your day. We have lost control, the ability to pick and think. Back in the Wild West of the internet, we had control of what we wanted to consume. The YouTube recommended was the closest thing we had to a For You page, but we still had the ability to pick which videos we wanted to watch out of what was chosen for us. For the rest, we were only shown what we picked and curated, followed or whatever. I'm not the first person to say that the algorithm is controlling us. At first, it's designed to be yours. You curate your algorithm, but again, you might not even be aware of what you want. So instead it gives you, what you might want to see, hooking you into using their services designed by neuroscientists for the sake of profit and data collection. But I want to return to control for a bit, right? With all this AI talk and social media platforms giving you what they want you to see, AI, both the algorithm and generative AI, has always been present, with much of these annoying anti-AIs online only emphasizing the latter, unaware that the platform they're using, being annoying in, uses the former. There is good AI, obviously, but most of the tangible progress that we've seen in recent years is directed towards creativity, like art, because if you want investors, you have to show them tangible benchmarking improvements. Numbers aren't as attractive as seeing videos being made for investors. Generative AI uses data that it scrapes throughout the internet. Everything we've said and it sees is used to improve the model. So now is the best time to pretty much start purging your data and brokerages, and your social media even. That sounded like a segue to an ad, but no, it's all up to you to do that yourself. Your data is important. That's been emphasized throughout the years, and now we're starting to see why. It's being used to train AI models and using information to track future terrorists, funded by Peter Thiel with Palantir. The entire US stock market is just a revolving buy and sell order from OpenAI, Nvidia, and a bunch of AI IPOs. The market is a joke, and the imploding AI bubble will soon show proof of that. But back to us, right? Gen Zs. The algorithm has just been showing us what's new. TikTok specifically. Like the new Kai Cenat video or whatever, celebrity drama, or even the new buzzword is like chud. I had an old script from 2023 actually, when the word gooning first went mainstream. So let me talk about these new buzzwords like chud or whatever. So I use 4chan, right? I have been for a while. I main boards like R9K, and my rotation from years ago was use 4chan, go to Twitter, then make fun of subreddits, which then seeps its way into iFunny or whatever. Not everything comes from 4chan. Some threads talk about posts on Twitter that talk about whatever, right? I remember when looksmaxing was made fun of, right? This whole thing was prominent in looksmaxing.org. And I think this is patient zero for most of 4chan slash like Twitter culture seeping into the mainstream, aka TikTok. TikTok is where things blow up. From what I've noticed, its algorithm usually pumps out what's new, so I was there to witness late Gen Z discover looksmaxing for the first time. And it blew my mind. It made sense. It was connected to the Sigma Patrick Bateman wave that came in 2021. So the desire to look better and to improve one's SMV is only inevitable. Mogging became a popular term, and so was mewing. Fun fact, I actually tried mewing around like 2021. It's definitely become a norm in how I position my mouth ever since. And I definitely have a more decent, prominent jawline compared to others, so who knows. But I remember in high school, right, on the hallway, on my way to class, when this total normie spewed the words, "I totally mogged these people." This line genuinely surprised me, and it's so vivid in my head. The website looksmaxing.org consists of mostly Indian men trying to improve their SMV, which I've noticed, them as a group haven't had the best PR lately. So it's interesting that these very same looksmaxers on TikTok are making fun of these people's SMVs while adhering to the site like it's their holy Bible. So let's move on from looksmaxing. So they found words like gooning and jelking, which again were subreddits that were made fun of and eventually seeped into TikTok. So we went from fap to goon as like a general term, even though you have to edge enough times to reach a goon state. Then we got to the A10 eyes, aka the blue eyes and blonde hair thing, which I've noticed exploded alongside the Save Europe movement back in early 2024, popularizing Europop and Nightcore to the Gen Zs. Then they started spinning the Black Sun, although one thing that still catches me off guard to this day is that they still prefer to call it Agartha and not Hyperborea, which, these two are completely different things, and they don't like putting the gnomes and prefer to keep Yakub. Basically, all culture is downstream from 4chan and Twitter incels. Stuff we've been talking about 5 to 7 years ago, now mainstream with normies with mewing and looksmaxing at that point. Esoteric Hitlerism, which all have cultural roots in 4chan and Twitter's sphere. Even Elliot Rogers, the face of incels, started getting edits made of him as a supreme gentleman. So I already predicted that R9K's black pill and incel culture was next. And I was right. Next thing you know, most Gen Z TikTok zoomies started calling themselves incels, with Fried by Fluoride being a popular incelcore artist. And eventually more would come, like Wi-Fi Skeleton, rest in peace. Clavicular blew up, making black pill mainstream, and terms like foid and moid followed suit, which is stuff you usually see on incel.is. And I don't know if Crystal Cafe still exists. So chud became mainstream, right? Again, that second shock within me happened when this completely normal person that I've known for years called herself a chud, and I had just realized how much 4chan and Twitter culture had impacted the modern TikTok and Reel sphere. Actually, they started calling women foids, and calling them just a foid would get you labeled as a LARP. Oh, did I forget LARP? LARP also went mainstream, although LARP was always a word prominent in spheres such as Media Talk, calling people who hadn't read the actual source material, be fans of it. They're LARP. They're LARPing that they've read or watched the material. I've seen this term used much wider, even showing up on one of Pyrocynical's videos, like the Utopia one, and I have personally used it a lot myself. But with TikTok, it's a new thing. So to make themselves feel special, they wanted the word and foid niche, and simply calling them a foid, which I think is stupid, but that's how we've always used it, and on R9K is somehow LARPing. So now I'm LARPing and taking over their niche space. I have noticed over the years as well the influx of normies on R9K pretending to be incels. The wizards there have probably left a while ago, and the quality too has dropped. I don't know what the Anfoid is supposed to be referring to. Is that supposedly from Anhero, which is also another term? I don't know if they've been using that as well. I have no idea. I haven't used modern social media recently. So why did I ramble on about 4chan culture getting into TikTok, right? The algorithm, whatever is new, gets pumped in their faces. With YouTube, you kind of have to pick your own poison. You out of the billions of videos you see on your recommended. For TikTok and Reels, you have to swipe through each individual video, so there's no escaping the term void or whatever. I have also noticed visual novels such as Sayano Uta and Subarashi Hikihibi also went mainstream, but it's apparently a media people LARP now, even though the 3-hour video explanation of Tractatus Logico Philosophicus work by Ludwig Wittgenstein, which is referenced a lot by Ayana in the game by the way, has been on everyone's YouTube recommended for years. She's on the thumbnail, she's literally in the bottom of the thumbnail, so everyone is just out to get the new niche thing. People want to be niche, right? Everyone's always wanted to be niche, right? Way before the internet. But this ruins my experience surfing it, because whatever small community or sphere that I want to learn more in depth is being gatekept by these niche warriors that don't want their media blowing up. Do they actually enjoy this media they're protecting? Probably not. They just like it because it's rare, it's unheard of. It's not a matter of quality anymore. Instead, they're emphasizing its value or rarity. If it gets to the hands of the mainstream, it's tainted to them, so they move on to the next thing. My next point here is people. There's too much people on the internet, right? So the influx of users when COVID was a thing got more people to scroll and venture the internet, right? More views on YouTube videos, more likes on TikToks, right? Did you see like a bunch of Dream Minecraft YouTube channels back in 2020? They got millions of views. And as the virus slowly dissipated, obviously it's decreased. But a lot of them still stayed. A lot of people still stay here on the internet, right? Oh wow, this is my home now. So there's more slop than ever being made. The restricted customization we have on social media profiles also constricts our creativity to make. Instead, we follow their rules, right? These social media's guidelines, leaving us only the ability to change our profile pictures and our bios, making everyone look the same and stale. Far from a bygone era of having the ability to post our blogs on our own websites, handcrafted with our own knowledge of CSS and JavaScript. The cost for what we have now is freedom to express ourselves. To them, we are just numbers to let investors know that we use their platforms to keep their pockets full. First, they take away our ability to express ourselves, then the ability to control what we want to see until there's nothing left of us, numb and scrolling away. As much as I like the accessibility of the iPhone, it's just a mini device that entraps us from what we're truly capable of. Curate what you want to see. Don't let others take that ability away from you. Put the effort to, under your own volition, and then use what you consumed to create, to transform this lifeless sphere around you into something better. The internet is slowly chipping away both in quality and quantity because servers can't keep stuff forever. Most sites from decades ago are gone, only being kept through archives which run risk of being sued to oblivion by governing bodies. So take control of what you have and what you want to see. Don't let them curate it for you. Don't let machines think for you. You have your head. Don't let the monotone drama commentary channel decide what you should feel. There's one thing you haven't lost yet, and that's you.